Hello students, let us start with our first chapter of plus 2 biology, reproduction in organisms. Here comes the first, the definition of reproduction. What is reproduction? Reproduction is a biological process by which an organism produces another organisms called offsprings similar to itself. As in the previous class, I already told you the biological significance of life is to reproduce and pass the genes to the next generation. So, here the main aspect of life is to reproduce, and hence what are the functions and the importance of reproduction? Reproduction is necessary for continuity of species, first of all. Second thing, sexual reproduction is responsible for variations in a population and its inheritance to future generation. And these variations are responsible for the evolution. Evolutionary biology is the biology which deals with the evolution of species time to time, and hence evolution is the main aspect of sexual reproduction. Now, types of reproduction, there are the two basic types of reproduction, sexual and asexual reproduction. You already had studied in the lower classes, so I won't go in detail of a difference between sexual and asexual reproduction, but here I mentioned the difference between sexual and asexual reproduction. Now, directly coming to asexual reproduction, the characteristics of asexual reproduction. So, first thing in asexual reproduction, it is uniparental. Uniparental means needs only a single parent, not two different parents as it is necessary in case of the sexual reproduction. One parent might be male and another female, but in asexual reproduction it is uniparental, and the offsprings are clones to each other, means they are exact copies of each other having the same chromosome, and offsprings are exact copies of each one, and mitosis is essential mode of asexual reproduction, means there is no meiosis in case of asexual reproduction. Now, the different types of asexual reproduction, these are fusion, fragmentation, budding, regeneration, spore formation, and vegetative propagation. In fusion, there are the two types of fusion, binary fusion and multiple fusion. Binary fusion, as binary means two, one individual directly splits into two individuals. First of all, in this type of asexual reproduction, karyokinesis takes place. Karyokinesis means division of nucleus, which is further followed by cytokinesis, or the what we say, division of the cytoplasm. The two offsprings formed here, or daughter cells formed here, are exact copies to each other. That's why they are called as the daughter cells. And in multiple fission, one single cell leads to the formation of the many daughter cells, and multiple fission takes place in case of paramecium. And next, here also we had explained sporulation. Sporulation takes place under unfavorable conditions in amoeba and other unicellular protists. Next, asexual reproduction is fragmentation, which is common in case of the algae, example Spirogyra. Budding takes place in case of yeast and hydra. Here the budding in yeast, and the main difference between budding and binary fission is, in binary fission the two daughter cells are exact in size, whereas in budding one cell is bigger and another cell is smaller. The smaller cell is called as the daughter cell, and bigger cell is called as the parental cell. This is the main difference between budding and binary fission. Next is regeneration. Regeneration occurs in the planaria. In 9th class also you had studied about the regeneration of planaria, in which the fragments of body leads to the formation of a new organism from each fragment. And regeneration is limited in case of higher organisms. It might take place in case of the regeneration of the tail in case of lizard. So next is the spore formation, and spore formation is of different types: zoospores, conidia, and gemmules. Zoospore formation takes place in case of Chlamydomonas, whereas conidia formation takes place in Penicillium, and gemmules are also called as the internal buds, which are the main asexual mode of reproduction in case of sponges. These gemmules might be asked in the examination for 1 mark. So next topic is vegetative propagation, which takes by different modes. These are the bulbils in case of agave, bulbs in case of onion and garlic, eyes on tubers, leaf buds in case of bryophyllum, offsets in water hyacinth and pistia, rhizome in case of ginger, runners in case of oxalis, sucker in case of mint. These are the different examples of vegetative propagation. Next, with this we had finished the asexual reproduction. Now coming to the sexual reproduction. So first of all, events of sexual reproduction are divided into 3 phases. First, pre-fertilization, second, fertilization, and third is the post-fertilization. The pre-fertilization events includes gametogenesis, and gametogenesis is the formation of gametes, that is sperm and ovum, and the formation of a male gamete, that is sperms, is called as the spermatogenesis, and the formation of the female gamete, that is ovum, is called as the oogenesis. Spermatogenesis takes place in the male sex organs, and oogenesis occurs in the female sex organs, and spermatogenesis and oogenesis occurs by the process of meiosis, not mitosis, as it is the most common in case of asexual reproduction. So spermatogenesis and oogenesis takes place by the process of meiosis, not mitosis. So on the basis of size and morphology of the gametes, may be homogametes or isogametes or heterogametes. Homogametes are both male and female gametes are similar in size and shape. It is not easier to distinguish the male and female gametes, and this kind of gametes are called as the isogametes. And second, heterogametes are the gametes which are different in morphology and size, and means anther and ovum are distinct morphologically from each other. So in some organisms, the only a single parent might have the both male and female sex organs, and this condition is called as the monoecious, which is common in case of coconut and cara. And much of the organisms have the male and female gametes in the different bodies, means male gametes in the male body and female gametes in case of the female organism's body, and it is common in case of papaya and marchantia in plants. And these heterothallic organisms or dioecious condition is most common in case of the animals. So unisexual male flowers are bearing called as the staminate, and unisexual female flowers bearing pistils are called as the pistillate flowers. So animals are hermaphrodite. Example: earthworm, sponge, tapeworm, and leech. These are the examples of the hermaphrodite organisms. So as I already told you, the cell division during gamete formation is the meiosis, and these gamete formation occurs in the special cells called the gamete mother cells, and gamete mother cells are called as the meiocytes. The meiocytes undergoes meiosis and leads to the formation of the gametes, that is sperm and ovum. Second phase is the gamete transfer. Gamete transfer is the main event of fertilization, in which it is gametes are physically brought together to facilitate fertilization. So male gametes are usually motile, and they are often transferred to the female body, and the fertilization might take place in the female body, and this kind of what we say fertilization is called as the internal fertilization. In case of the plants, the anthers are taken up by the different agents and leads to the pollination, and this transfer of gametes from transfer of anthers from stigma to stigma is called as the pollination. So next is the fertilization and syngamy. Fertilization is the fusion of male and female gamete, and the process of fertilization leads to the formation of the zygote. The phenomenon of development of female gamete directly into an individual without fertilization is called as the parthenogenesis, which is common in case of rotifers, honeybees, lizards and birds. So fertilization may be external fertilization and internal fertilization. In case of external fertilization, the fusion of male and female gametes occur outside the body of the female. That's why the word external is being used here. And internal fertilization, the fusion of male and female gametes occurs in the female body. So external fertilization is common in case of bony fishes, frogs and majority of algae, whereas internal fertilization is common in higher animals like birds and mammals. In post fertilization events, the main events are zygote development and embryogenesis. In zygote development, there is the zygote might be formed inside the body of the organism or might be in the external medium, and the different events which are taking in the formation of a zygote might be different in different organisms. And in embryogenesis, the zygote leads to formation of many cells and hence leads to a formation of full-fledged organisms, and these all process collectively called as the embryogenesis. So in birds there might be not in birds, in animals, some of the animals might be oviparous and viviparous, means those organisms where fertilization is internal but development is external are oviparous, means they lays the egg. And in viviparous organisms, the fertilization and development both are internal, and hence viviparous organisms give birth to the young ones and oviparous organisms lays the eggs. Here the difference between the oviparous and viviparous organisms you might study in detail. From here, the example of oviparous organisms is reptiles and birds, and viviparous organisms are majority of mammals including human beings. Clear? So in the flowering plants, the zygote is formed inside the ovule, where the zygote develops into the embryo. The fertilized ovule develop into seed and ovary develop into the. This question might be asked in the examination, that which part leads to the development of a fruit. So it is ovary, not a full ovule. Ovule leads to the formation of the seed, not the fruit. So the outermost protective covering of a fruit is called as the pericarp or fruit wall. With this we had finished our briefing of the first chapter. If you have any queries, you might ask to me, and prepare the notes from the slides which I will provide you. Thank you and have a nice day.